for those who spend extensive periods at sea due to their jobs. What's the eeriest thing you've encountered in the ocean? I was once working on a fishing vessel when a damn greenhorn just about got squashed by a falling trap. Luckily he was pushed out of the way just in time. Here comes the freaky part. We immediately got a call from an exploding oil rig and had to change course toward it to help with the rescue operation. The captain swears to this day though the guy was directly behind him and asked him to get his binoculars. The thing is, the guy wasn't there anywhere on the ship. He just disappeared and we never ever saw him again. Still gives me the willies. Bob Ballard was diving on the Titanic, and the vessel started making a rattle sound, like a Geiger counter. They never figured out what it was. They also ended the dive prematurely and didn't take even a single sample or artifact during the dive. Due to wreckage maritime law, that means he had no salvage rights to the ship, and a Russian team quickly came afterwards and claimed wreck rights. That's now why the Titanic artifacts are part of the RMS Titanic Traveling Exhibit, a for-profit company. I'm not as cool as these legit mariners, but I was in the Navy for spell, and we were in the Med, and I saw on our flare cam just the weirdest moving, glowing streams. Turns out being infrared you can see the magma flowing beneath MT Etna. Duh, my bad. But then I saw some sparkling cloud eye signatures for no reason many days later, like Death Knot attached to a mountain in the sky. If anyone has an explanation for sky lights other than aliens, I'm open to hearing. Functional engine on their craft to understand the journey they take to even get to the Mediterranean Sea, then to hope that they find a ship that can bring them to Europe and not back to Africa. Puts a perspective on Western problems. US Navy BTW. Above case a rescue orc ship came to their aid, and they were taken to Italy. I work on a vessel that rarely leaves the Norwegian coast, so the weirdest thing you've experienced was fog so thick we couldn't see the other end of the vessel, about 30 meters. This lasted for around 48 hours. Just after the fog descended on us, a cormorant started circling the boat. After a while he landed in the mast and stayed there until the fog lifted again. For me, I used to be an oilfield diver in the Gulf of Mexico. I'd say about 80 of the dives I logged were at night, mostly 500 feet and under DSVs. It's very eerie feeling sitting on the downline doing in-water decompression in the middle of night. I'd always ask topside to turn off my headlight, like a worm on a hook, just bobbing in the darkness. My brother is a merchant marine man, or he was. He did search and rescue for the past, so he has more time with his son. But he tells me of the strangest places he has found rafts with refugees. Company policy is almost don't see them unless you have to, because then it's our responsibility. And this boat is expensive to have sitting about. Sailing along one night and noticed we were heading towards a glow that got bigger and bigger. It was eerie because it looked exactly like the lights of a city. But it wasn't possible because we were in open ocean. Turns out it was about 50 lobster fishing vessels with their lights on for night fishing, on a trip from Asia to the Panama Canal. The glassy sea shortly after a TRS rolled through. There were bits of wood in the water that looked like they used to be a fishing boat, and the edge of a half-submerged container poking up. TRS tropical revolving storm. Well, this one time we were celebrating the halfway point of patrol, and one of the crew members showed up on the crew's mess in a homemade dominatrix outfit, and all 280 pounds of him gave lap dances. He then got stuck in said outfit and had to be helped out. This question was asked on the Board Panda website about a year ago. There were a lot of good answers. The most memorable answer for me was the personal account of the sighting of a creature that resembled Nessie of Vancouver. Seen people die. I have seen people jump off the ship in suicide attempts. I've been on a ship that collided with another ship, and sharks circled to see if anything fell off the ship into the water. People. Not quite eerie roost about it on an oil rig off the coast of Santa Barbara a few summers in college, and had drunk girls on boats flash their titties at us several times. My dad was a master mariner for many years. All of his creepy stories are about other people on board effectively losing their minds. Bioluminescent algae, or plankton or something like that, causing the weight behind the ship to glow at night was pretty wild to see. I've seen me a mermaid once. I even seen me a shark eat an octopus. But I ain't never seen no phantom Russian submarine. The creepiest thing I saw was an all-black flying pig with red eyes on the bow. My dad answered this. He said a mannequin wearing a gag and blindfold. No mermaids. Kraken or Cthulhu. This thread is very disappointing. I was on a submarine for years, so nothing I guess.